So welcome back to Strong Opinion Hibs. I'm Calvin as always, and today I'm joined with Jack. How you doing, Jack?
I'm all right, mate. Happy after the result against St Johnstone, finally beating them at home.
Yeah, brilliant. And again, we're joined by a very special guest. It's Hibernian Women star Siobhan Hunter. How are you, Siobhan?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Oh, good. Yeah, we're both doing good. We're just, as we said, happy with yesterday's result, and then really looking forward to Wednesday night. Obviously for the women's Edinburgh Derby. So we just wanted to get you on the podcast just to share your thoughts about your sort of journey into football, like how you started playing and things like that, and then looking towards the Derby on Wednesday, and just see if you could give the listeners any insight into how you're feeling and how the team are feeling ahead of the match at Easter Road.
Yeah, sounds good.
Perfect. So who got you, or what got you into playing football? Was it watching a match, or was it a person, or did you grow up with siblings that got you involved? How did you sort of come into loving to play football?
It was mostly my dad, I would say. My dad kind of was brought up from his dad playing football all his life. So, yeah, my dad kind of influenced me playing football, but it wasn't forced. He kind of just seen it from a young age that there was ability there. So he kind of then went into trying to get me into school teams and stuff like that. So, yeah, my dad's probably my biggest influence. But again, when I was young, I had a ball at my feet, and I always enjoyed kicking it around with my big brother. So, yeah, it's something that I've grew up playing, and I love it every day.
That's good. So obviously you grew up supporting Hibs as well. Who were some of your favourite players that played for Hibs as you were growing up?
Yeah, I grew up watching Derek Riordan, Scott Brown, Gary O'Connor, the special ones. No, I think all of them, they were so attacking. They scored so many goals, and as you know, like when you're young, all you want to see is people score goals. So when they score goals, they're kind of your favourite. But no, I just liked going to the games. Atmosphere back then was so exciting, and there were so many goals in every game you went to, whether it was home or away. So yeah, they were kind of the three that I looked up to, and they were such good talents and so special players for Hibs. They came through the academies and stuff as well, which is even better.
Exactly, yeah. See, was there any defenders in the team? Because I think we had like Chris Hogg and Rob Jones and things like that at that time. Have you been a defender yourself? Or were you always more sort of focused towards, as you said, like the attacking players scoring goals are obviously your favourites? Or
I used to actually like Ian Murray and David Murphy actually when I was younger. I think I personally just think that left footers just strike the ball a lot sweeter sometimes than maybe a right footer. So yeah, watching them play, they just played with ease and going forward and defending. They went both ways. So yeah, they two growing up. I used to love Rob Jones's song, so I quite liked him as well. But no, I kind of liked everywhere as a position. I didn't really have a certain position at that age. I was actually a midfielder, but now I've got older, I've kind of dropped back. But no, it was mostly forward players. As you know, the goal scorers are usually the favourites.
Yeah. Was there anyone out with Hibs, like maybe like world football that you sort of looked up to as well?
I've always followed Ronaldo, I would say. He's just one person that I really like watching. He's just so good with the ball, off the ball as well. And I think as a professional, he's probably a true professional player, off and on the pitch. You don't see him doing too many bad things, especially right now with the media. He's not really in it for the bad reasons. So, yeah, growing up, he was such a big role model and someone you always looked up to as a youngster, and he's still doing it now to this day.
Yeah. So you've been at Hibs for over a decade, and you also went to the youth academy there as well. What was it like? What's it like getting to play for the club that like you love, and especially being able to be there for so long, like the longevity of your career?
Yeah, I think loyalty is massive in football. You don't really get it too often, so I think the aspect of it I really enjoy. I love being able to say that I played for the one team throughout, so that's so special to me. And growing up a Hibs fan and all your family being Hibs supporters, it's even more special. But no, I think being a youngster, you never really think that you're going to play for Hibs. It's always in the back of your head and something you always think that you're going to do, but to actually pursue it is something that's so overwhelming and something that I love doing each day. But yeah, I think being at the one club is actually it's unfamiliar right now in the game.
Yeah, that's true as well. See, because you've been there for over a decade, you've always had a lot of really high points. What's been your most favourite moment playing for Hibs so far?
I actually get this asked a lot, but it's really hard to say the one. I think playing my first game for Hibs, I remember I was only 11 and it was like a five-a-side tournament on like the sand Astra pitch that you used to play on back then. And I remember just going and I actually scored 7 and I thought, wow, this is amazing. So that was really special to be so young and score so many goals. But I think first team, it's probably winning the Scottish Cup against Glasgow City. I think that was the first time we'd ever beat them within 90 minutes. So to be able to do that, win the cup in front of all your fans is really nice. And then scoring at Easter Road in the Champions League, I think for probably any Hibs player this day and age, female or male, it's quite a huge thing. Champions League's so massive. So to be able to participate in that and score, that was really special as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. Some really, really special moments, and hopefully you can add to that on Wednesday night as well. We'll be definitely rooting for you to try and get 7 goals on Wednesday. Would be amazing if you could manage that.
Too bad.
So we'll just jump into the Derby preview. I'll just hand you over to Jack, who's going to run through a few questions for you.
Yeah, so I'll be doing the Derby preview because obviously it's such a big game. But before we talk about that, it's just as well I put this shirt on the day talking about Riordan and all that for that sort of season. I just wanted to get it out of the way. It's almost like I was got a crystal ball there putting this shirt on. But moving into the Derby, how did it feel for you as a Hibs fan when it was announced that the Edinburgh Derby would be played at Easter Road? Obviously the game had been postponed to avoid it getting played at Volunteer Park, and then it got announced to be playing at Easter Road. How big is that for you as a Hibs fan and a player?
Yeah, it's huge. I think that's what you grow up wanting to do. I think playing at Easter Road against anyone is so huge and important. But to be able to play the first ever women's derby at Easter Road, it's that little bit more special and something that everyone is looking forward to and can't wait for it to come around.
So, the whole allocation's been sold out, which is fantastic. I think it's great to see the fans, committing to the club like that. And I think it's good that we'll be getting a lot of new faces along to the women's team. Obviously, I go regular, so it's great for me to see a lot of people, getting into their first game. So how does that feel for you that the fans have backed the team in such a big way as they have coming into the Derby?
Yeah, it's quite surreal, actually. You don't really think that when Dean said that was a target, you kind of thought, yeah, maybe that will happen, but you don't actually think it would. So to be able to get that allocation is absolutely vital. And for new fans coming along, it's a good time for them to come along. We're playing quite well. We're bonding as a team each game, and again to play at Easter Road under lights against Hearts, it doesn't get much better than that. So yeah, to be able to get new fans, get our regular fans back, we want to put on a show, and there's no better way to do it against Hearts, a good crowd that we've never really had before. So it's quite daunting in a way that there is so many fans. Probably not many of us have played in front of that many fans. So it'll be special for the club, for the staff and for the players. So everyone's really looking forward to it.
Completely, and I think we've had those games before against Bayern Munich and against Slavia Prague, but even those crowds aren't comparing to the crowd we're getting for an Edinburgh Derby. And I completely agree with you that the Edinburgh Derby is as big as it comes for Hibs at any level. So obviously, talking about the Champions League, the last time we played at Easter Road was against Slavia Prague in the Champions League round of 32, and you scored in that game. How special was it for you scoring at Easter Road under the lights, and are you hoping to score again against the Hearts on Wednesday?
Yeah, that was probably one of the best moments of my life. I think for me and my family, it's so special to play at Easter Road and to even get a goal. It's hard to put into words, but yeah, I hope I can score. I've got my celebration ready already. So no, it'll happen. If not, all that's important is that we win the game. But no, I would love to score. I think the special occasions I've scored before, so I think that would just put the icing on the cake if I do score. And yeah, hopefully this brings me the luck to score that goal.
I hope your celebration's like Murray's when he had the 7-0 died into his seed. That would be good if you do that.
I guess it took me long enough to grow my hair, so I'll be keeping my hair.
It's probably a good idea to do that. But, or maybe some Paul Hanlon style celebrations as well. That'd be good.
I'll have a look.
The last time we
I'll look
played,
to your idol Ronaldo and do the Ronaldo the corner. That'd be class.
the
we'll
last
see.
time we played Hearts at home, we beat them 6-0. Obviously, that was at Ainsley Park, and the fans were still behind closed doors at that point. Are you hoping for a similar scoreline, or do you think it's going to be a tighter game, or do you think it's going to be even more?
I think it's hard to tell right now. I think Hearts probably are in the same position. They've got the crowd as well on their back. There maybe it could be more Hibs fans than Hearts fans, I would be guessing. But look, they've got a new setup. They've got a new manager that's come in, and she's wanting different demands. So not played them yet. So we'll analyse them. We'll then take in the positives from our game yesterday and look at Hearts a little bit more in detail. But I think if you look at our favourites, but we can't be going into the game being too arrogant and getting carried away, because, you know, in football anything can happen. So we need to be clever about it, but we're hoping to put a show on and try and get as many goals as we can for the fans to maybe give it back for giving them us the support in the game.
And I completely agree. I think talking about Hearts, they have developed as a side. They're definitely a different side to what they were last season. And I think they were obviously lucky that there wasn't any relegation last season because of the league reform. But I do think that they'll be better than they were last season. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I completely agree with you, because the other thing is, in a derby, the form book goes out the window. Because of those sorts of games that teams step up for. As we've known with the men's team plenty of times, when Hearts have been toiling, they always seem to win against us. So we just got to keep grounded on that one. I agree, but I think a good one, speaking to you, and I think you've probably been asked this loads, but you bagged yourself a hat-trick in our 7-1 derby win in the Cup a few seasons back. First of all, are you hoping to pull that off again? And second of all, how did that feel, scoring a hat-trick for centre-half?
If I pull that off, I think I maybe retire after that one, to be honest. I'm not sure about that, but no, I'll give them all. I don't know what will happen on the day. You don't know the team yet, but no, I think if you get in the situations, then anything can happen in a game. But look, we're just looking to score as many goals as we can, get the win, and get a good performance. But no, I think if that does come around, then yeah, I'll hang my boots up there and then. But no, that day it was kind of weird. And still to this day, I don't really know how it happened. Obviously 2 are from set plays and one was just a wave of attack. But no, I think to score even 1 goal against Hearts is massive for any Hibs player. But to score a hat trick as a centre half, it doesn't really happen much. So yeah, I'll take it. I'll keep it, and I'll never forget it. So yeah, we'll see.
And you're joining some esteemed company in the Edinburgh Derby Hat-Trick Club as well. Like a few of the famous 5 players and Jimmy O'Rourke. So you're in a esteemed company there with Derby Hat-Tricks. So the next one for the Derby is you're involved in all the media stuff at Easter Road. So how does it feel to see the club in general, especially with our new CEO, Ben Kinsella, how does it feel to see the club in general taking such a great interest? Obviously, Ron Gordon came along to the Spartans game as well. That must be great to see that level of support from the higher-ups at the club.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think that's what you need in women's football. You need the support, you need the belief from your club. I think if you're kind of running on your only women's side, it's difficult to get the fans in, the media. Look at the response they got from just one press conference with Ben, and it's been huge, and it's helped us massively. So no, I think to be able to meet him in person and actually see what he's been saying about our club and our team is so positive. It's actually really nice to see the Hibs men club right behind us and trying to do everything for the club, and not just maybe the first team. They're looking at the academies, the boys, the women's and the girls. So no, it's so positive, and I think them putting backing into us is only going to go forward and up. So yeah, it's such an exciting time right now for Hibs, and I think, as Ben did say, it's a bit maybe overdue, and why it hasn't happened before is that with his control, but now it's in his control. He's really backing it, and it's really positive for the club.
I completely agree. And I think it's great. Do you want to try to say something there, Calvin? Have you got any?
I was just going to ask as well. It's not only are you playing under the lights at Easter Road, but the new TV screens as well. It must be pretty amazing, because you were down at Easter Road for the the media and things like that. Like Jack said, like What did you think of seeing the TV screens there, and how do you think that's going to add to the atmosphere?
Yeah, I've not had a chance to go to Easter Road yet with the new screens, but I've heard nothing but good things about them. So, yeah, when I went there, they were asking me to do it's quite like a welcoming thing to all the fans on the day. So my nice face will be on the big screen when you arrive. But no, stuff like that makes a massive difference. I think hearing your voice maybe on the big screen, or your family coming to the game and they're saying that's my daughter or that's my niece or whatever, it just makes it a little bit more special. And to have 6,000 plus big screens, I think it's just going to be such a special night for the full club. So yeah, it's really exciting.
I completely agree there, and obviously it's great for the new signings as well. The three American players in particular, because we had Gabby on the High B Buzz talking about how excited she is for it. So it must be a good thing for the squad in general. What's the buzz been like in and around the rest of the squad surrounding the derby?
Yeah, it's been hard trying to keep our focus on Celtic, but also try not get too carried away. But it's hard when you're constantly seeing Twitter saying there's over 2,000, over 3,000, the number just keeps going up. So it was difficult at the time just to kind of keep your head low and focus on the one game. But now we've kind of got that over the line, and we'll reflect on that game going into Wednesday's game. But it's nothing but excitement now, and it's so exciting for the club, the players and the staff. It's something that we want to do. We want to be on this big stage, we want to perform, and it's kind of when you realise where you are as a player in a club. So no, I think everyone's just getting really excited, and you just wish it was now. You have to wait a couple of days, but yeah, it's so exciting.
I think the term is like a bairn on Christmas is what it's like, you know. I think that's definitely what it's like for the supporters as well. So my last point on the derby before I move on is, you know, that it's not just a big thing for us as a club. Obviously, it's an Edinburgh Derby, what a win, but it's a big thing for the women's game in Scotland as well. This is the first sort of big major derby tie that's getting played in front of that many fans. We beat the Old Firm to it, which I think is great as well. And Europe will be watching. I think I've already been seeing stuff that several people I know in Germany will be watching it. Various means there's other European sort of AFAs taking interest, so they can sort of base how they're growing their women's game off of it. So how massive do you think this is for the women's game in Scotland? Sort of moving away from it just being Hibs Hearts. How massive is it for the rest of the Scottish women's game as well?
Yeah, I think Scottish football, I think the way that we work, someone in this league will want them to better us. I think they'll then want to beat that record. So it's almost like a competition. If we get 6,000, the Celtic and Rangers then want 7 or 8. So yeah, it's only going to influence other clubs to then back their team to then get the same outcome. So it's only positive, I think. Going into this game, I think we are the first team to do it. We've got that record on our back. We've done such a good job of getting that information out there, getting the free tickets. So all the things that the club has done, it's all been positive and always bringing the women's game up, and the amount of fans that are coming to the game who then maybe come back or tell their friends. And I think, just word of mouth and maybe they'll come along and be surprised by the quality of the team, and it's only positive. And then, like you say, worldwide, if it's 20 people, it's 2,000 people, there's always someone else watching. So yeah, it's massive for the Scottish game, and I think they've always got on their back, how can we improve the women's game in Scotland, and this is only the start. So hoping that other teams will do the same between each club.
No, 100%. I'm hoping it can attract some more foreign players over to Scotland as well, because I think it'd be nice to see players come from other countries and grow their game here as well. And I think having that sort of levels of support and having that incentive would be great for foreign players. So just to finish up for today, I've got 2 wee things. First of all, and we know you're a Hibs fan, and you maybe didn't get to watch the game because you obviously were playing Celtic. But how do you feel finally beating St Johnstone at home for the first time since 2012 in the league? What are your sort of thoughts on that?
I think it's a long time coming. I think we were kind of due. St Johnstone won, but it's one of those teams you sometimes struggle to beat, and give St Johnstone their due. They've been good for a good number of years now, but getting maybe the luck of the draw with the handball, it was maybe a bit tight, but again, that's a luck that we've maybe not had in the past, and now we're getting it. So yeah, it's great for the men. I think they're doing so well right now. They're sitting second, is it right now? So to be that high up in the table, I think it's huge for the club, and the players can only take positives from that, and hopefully it keeps going up and up.
It was Martin's turn to take the mickey out of Rachel this week after what happened with the cross at Motherwell. The cross tweet, I'm sure Martin can he can get a wee bit of revenge for that now after scoring the penalty. So the next one, and I'll go into what is, so this is Derby score predictions. I'm going to start with you, Cal. What do you think the score prediction is going to be for Wednesday night? What's your score prediction?
I've seen the Hibernian Women's supporters club putting it out on Twitter, and I wrote back, I think it's going to be 5-0 to Hibs.
Right.
So no pressure, but I definitely think Hibs will win. Obviously,
yeah.
I'm just really looking forward to it. But I think 5-0 Hibs.
Right. Okay. I don't know if you'll maybe want to do this or not, Siobhan, but I'll go to you anyway.
You might not be allowed. No.
I'm not sure about allowed this. I'll go with the fans vote, and we'll go with the special 7-0. But again, my hands are tied, and I'm not saying it's going to be 7-0, but that's my hope, and I just want to put on a good performance, get the 3 points, and have a good night for the field club.
Yeah, I'm going to go and say I think it'll be I think it won't be as many goals. I'm going to go and say 4-0 for us, the 4-0 win for Hibs, going with the Hibernian Women Supporters Club there. So that's us. I think I'll hand back to Calvin to sort of wrap us up there.
Yeah, no, so just once again, just say thanks for your time. Thanks for coming on, Siobhan. It's been really good to have you on and just hear from one of the women's players as well. And like we say, me and Jack, we've been along a few games at the Livingston Stadium, the Spaghetti had, just to cheer you on the last couple of weeks and things like that. So we'll definitely make sure we can get along to a few other games this week. And what would be your message to the supporters? Obviously, there's 6,000 coming to watch on Wednesday night, but what would be your message to the supporters to try and encourage them to come along and maybe make the trip to a home match at Livingston to see you play?
I think maybe just acknowledge the players on Wednesday night. Have a look at the standard of football. I think we've been doing this for a long time. We've won a lot of cups. We've been competing at the top. So I think, just enjoy the game, and then hopefully we will see you. One thing you would say, it's quite a community-based game. We do speak to the fans and stuff after the game, and try our best to get involved with the fans. So it's not about just coming to the game and then going home again. It's it's a nice day out, and it's mixed fans. So I don't see why you wouldn't attend unless you can't get there, which is quite hard. It's out with our control, obviously, at the moment. It's quite far for Edinburgh-based people, but no, I think we play quite attacking football. We're good on the ball, and we defend well. So all round we're a good side. So please come along to other games if you can.
I completely agree.
I think the thing for me, when I came along to my first women's game, after about 10 minutes, I thought, I don't even know why I bother with the men, because these were so good. I was against the Stirling Uni game. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. And, there is the sort of stigma around the women's game where a few people are like, oh, no, I'm not going because it's the women's game. And it's so stupid, because the minute the ball kicks off, you would not know the difference, because if you're a football fan, my message is you'll absolutely love it. And we're really hoping for a great night. And we just want to wish you all the best, Siobhan. Thanks again for coming on, and send our best wishes to the girls, and we hope you manage to get the victory.
Will do. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
No worries. It was great having you on.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you. Take care.
Hey, let's know what thunderstorms